Norman, you're on probation for the third-degree felony offense of assault family violence by impeding breath or circulation. Looks like you were placed on that probation back in 2021, and that was a 4-year deferred probation. And I received an administrative hearing that shows it looks.
Hold up, things just got serious. The judge isn't casually reviewing paperwork here. She's sending a message. On deferred probation, every slip counts. Remember, deferred means he's walking free without a conviction on record. It's a second chance, not a guarantee, but that chance comes with strings attached, and if he misses a single report date, falls behind on fees, or breaks any rule, that freedom suddenly turns fragile and the threat of conviction becomes very real.
Like you're behind in your court-assessed fees and you failed to report as directed on June 6th. And the probation officer made some recommendations, and that was going to be for you to serve 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail, be placed on the high-medium caseload, some other things. And instead of doing that, I wanted to bring you here because obviously that any violation is not tolerated, but it looks like I wanted to know more if you only didn't report one time and you're behind in your fees. Are you working?
Yeah, I'm still working.
I'm sorry? Okay. Where do you work?
Optimus Steel.
Say it again?
Optimus Steel.
Okay. Why didn't you report on June 6th? Do you remember?
June 6th, I was supposed to report. It was June.
And now the mess begins. Dates, letters, report times. But probation doesn't care about confusion. Legally, it's on him to confirm every single requirement. One wrong date. That can snowball into a full violation. Because in this courtroom, the judge isn't looking for excuses, she's looking for clarity.
June 4th, right, because that's the hearing date. Yeah. So it wouldn't have been the day after. That's another reason why this was a little confusing.
Because what it was, I was supposed to say June 6th. They sent the letter. I thought that was for me to report for June 6th. And when I got in touch with her, she said, I missed the administrative here. And I said, no, I'm supposed to see you June 6th. She said, no, it's for June 4th.
Okay. So why are you behind in your fees if you're working?
Well, I was helping my kids and getting caught back up.
You were doing what? I'm sorry?
I was helping my children.
Okay.
But I'm in the process of getting caught back up now. Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you have a job and you have the ability to pay, then you can do everything else right on your probation. And at the end of your probation, which is only 1 year away.
Listen closely. This is the financial landmine of probation. Most people think missing a payment is just being late on a bill. Wrong. If the court thinks you could pay but didn't, that alone can trigger a violation. And a violation, that's not a warning, that's a one-way ticket to prison. Big stakes for small dollars. You could still be revoked. You could be convicted of this offense, and you could still go to prison for not paying if I find that you could have paid and you didn't. So it looks like you've done most everything else, from what I can tell, very well. This is the first administrative hearing, but I do want you to understand it's very important that you get caught up on those fees. If you start making payments and you're not caught up by sometime next year, then what can happen is we extend it and you can be on probation longer. It's not meant to be a punishment. It's just meant for you to be able to finish paying, right?
I was trying to be finished by August.
Well, then it sounds like you need to get to paying some money.
No, I mean, because I got it so far ahead to I forget paid off in August.
Okay, so here's what happens.
But I think I'm at 22 payments.
Yeah, so here's what happens. If you get all your money paid off ahead, it's not automatic that you get off your probation early. Okay, so a lot of people do get terminated off their probation early if they do everything satisfactorily. So I'm not saying that you're not going to, but obviously getting your fees caught up and paid in full makes it look a little better when you go to probation and say, hey, would you consider sending something over to the judge for me to get off early? But you have to be following all the rules, take care of everything that you're supposed to. Do you understand? Is there any other issues that I'm missing?
And now the probation officer drops the real tea. A history of being nonchalant. Translation. Doing the bare minimum until someone forces action. But in the world of probation, that mindset is dangerous. Courts don't want effort only when threatened. They want consistent compliance every single day.
I've spoken to his previous officer, and she said since the beginning of his probation, it's kind of been, we've been trying to get something out of him to want to be successful. Since the beginning, he's kind of already said his attorney had told him that he could get off in a third of his time if he just paid his money. He had another admin summons prior in 22, and it turned into a case staffing. He hadn't done any of his programs and conditions at that point. We had to pull it out of him to be able to do it. At this point, he's always kind of been nonchalant about probation. Even in his initial PSI, it even said that his nonchalant behavior could be a downfall for his probation. So this was kind of for us to see what you would like us kind of to do when it comes to that, since he's just been very nonchalant. It's when we enforce action or try and do a sanction is when he actually wants to do it. Because before I started making all the payments, he had told me, I'll get to it. It'll be done at some point. I promise it'll be done at some point.
So
very nonchalant.
Here's what we're going to do, Mr. Norman. It is not probation's job to try to force you to do what you got an excellent opportunity to be able to do instead of going to prison. It's not their job. You're not a child. They don't need to drag you along by your hand to do what you're supposed to do. And it sounds like you've done okay on probation, but it's only because they've threatened sanctions. So here's what we're going to do. There's no more them threatening.
This is the turning point. The judge is finished with warnings, no more gentle nudges. She's officially shifting from guidance to consequences. This is the courtroom version of I'm not asking again. From this moment on, one slip doesn't mean more probation, it means prison.
Sanctions. You show up when you're supposed to show up. You pay what you're supposed to pay. Maybe you get off early. Maybe you don't. We'll see. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it's not going to be in another administrative hearing where they say, hey, we're going to ask for 15 days in jail, or, we're going to try to get your attention. Today's attention getting day. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, there's going to be a motion to revoke filed and you're going to end up in prison. It's just that simple. Do you understand? Do you have any questions about that? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.